Tazria and Matsura, the Big Divide. Although Parshas Tazria and Parshas Metsora are divided into two separate parshios, you would think they should be one parsha. After all, they are both about Sara'as.
So why break it into two parshios?
Well, Parshas Tazria is all about the Sara'as disease, how people get it on their skin and even on their clothes.
Oh, no!
On the other hand, Parshas Metsora is dedicated to the healing process.
Isn't this exciting? Are you excited? Because I'm excited and I've never been this excited!
So simply put,
Tazria equals disease.
Metsora equals healing.
Parsha name, not so simple. As mentioned, most of this week's Parsha, Parshas Metsora, is dedicated to the Purification Process. Think about it. Does the name Metsora, meaning someone who has Sara'as, sound like an appropriate name?
Hardly.
In fact, some rabbis refused to call this Parsha by the name Metsora.
That's so interesting.
Instead, they called it Zostihiyeh, the first two unique words in the Parsha. We're talking about some of the greatest rabbis of all time who lived over 900 years ago. Beginning with the learned Rabbi Saadia Gaon from Egypt and Iraq. Then the great Rashi from Germany and France. And continuing with the amazing Rambam from Spain and Egypt. Also, going back a few hundred years, there were great rabbis who would refer to Parshas Metsora as Parshas Tahara, the Parsha of purity. For example, around 300 years ago, the highly respected Chida, Rabbi Chaim Yosef David Azulai, traveled the world and wrote a diary. In his diary, he would date each entry with reference to the Parsha of the week.
Today is the 6th day of Cheshvan, Parshas Noach. Today is the 13th day of Cheshvan, Parshas Lech Lecha,
and so on. But instead of writing Parshas Metsora, he always wrote Parshas Tahara. For example, he would write,
Today is the 4th day of Iyar, Parshas Tahara.
Regardless, the common custom is to call it Parshas Metsora. Why is this?
Here's an idea.
Metsora can be broken into two words, motzi ra, bringing out bad. On one hand,
or shall we say on one thumbs down,
this means someone who spreads evil gossip and brought evil into the atmosphere.
What? I can't believe it.
On the other hand,
or on the other thumbs up,
it can also mean removing bad.
Phenomenal! Oh no, it's terrific.
And that's what Parshas Metsora is all about, the removal of one's bad past and the beginning of a new journey filled with goodness and kindness. A Tale of Two Tongues. Let's conclude this Shazak Parsha with an important story which sums up the last two Parshios, Tazria and Matsura. It is about the great sage, Rabbi Shimon ben Gamliel, and it teaches us a huge lesson about tongues. Lashon hara, literally a bad tongue, and Lashon tov, a good tongue. Rabbi Shimon was in the mood to test his faithful servant Tavi, who was not Jewish, to see how wise he was. Tavi, he said, please run to the market and buy me the best food you can find. I trust your judgment. Just make sure it's kosher.
Sure thing, Rabbi,
said Tavi, trotting off to do as Rabbi Shimon had asked. A little while later, Tavi returned with a package of cow's tongue.
Yummy.
Here you go, Rabbi. The finest delicacy in the entire market.
Thank you. Now, Tavi, will you please go back to the market and buy the most disgusting food you can find?
Disgusting?
He thought to himself.
Well, you're the boss. Whatever you say, Rabbi.
A short time later, Tavi was back with another package of, believe it or not, tongue. Huh? What's this all about? Asked Rabbi Shimon. I'm so confused. When I asked you to bring me a fine delicacy, you brought tongue. Then when I asked you to bring me bad food, you also brought tongue.
Well, Rabbi,
Tavi replied,
there are good tongues and bad tongues. When a tongue is good, there's nothing better. And when a tongue is bad, there's nothing worse.
Ugh. Where's the beef?
Rabbi Shimon smiled. Wise words indeed. I couldn't have said it better myself.
Yeah.
If you like this Taste of Shazak Parsha video, you'll love the complete video at Shazak.com. You'll also get amazing Parsha quizzers, puzzles, Parsha on a page, and the Parsha post. Use coupon code Shazak for a great discount.